I'm excited on this one, boys and girls. We have a brand new product that you haven't seen before. It's called the Ti-DOX. I call it the Gator. A UV light, unchallenged of any lights I've ever shown you before. The Gator snaps everything out of the air. All airborne pathogens, smoke, odors, coronavirus, influenza, it's in the air, chemical smells, it will zap it. UV light, we know, kills everything. The air has to go through this 5 meters before it exits. We're in the middle of installing it. Stay with us. You're going to love this. Dan knows that the Gator, as I affectionately call it, has to have air movement running past the bulb, meaning we have to tie it into the cold air return and a hot air supply. What he's done is he's just made himself access, and he's patching it up now to cover up where he had to get the cold air supply return, and he's sealing it. And he's going to patch it up and make it airtight. As you can see, we're tin taping it, not duct tape. Duct tape dries out, gets frayed, and falls off in about under 2 years. Tin tape doesn't. As he foil tape back with adhesive on the one side. While Dan's continuing to work on piping to make it easy to go in, and we'll show you when he's all done and what he's done. This is the UV bulb, ultraviolet. If this was on right now, you would be blinded, or at least I'd be blinded. This will burn the retinas right out of your eyeballs. That's why anything within 2 to 2.5 inches of it will be zapped and killed. Not dormant, not filtered, killed. Coronavirus, influenza virus, smoke, odor, anything passing this bulb will be dormant and killed. Not just set aside, but gone forever. That's why this is packaged separately, and we're going to watch Dan plug this in.
Okay, so what we've done here, if you come with me over here, you'll notice we tied in to the supply on the furnace. So the hot air is going to come out through this guy here, go in to the one side of our UV light box. Then we're going to come across here where we've got this pipe waiting that's attached to the cold air return. This is going to tie into the other side of the box, creating a full cycle. So what we want is the air to come through this side, out this side, and then that's eventually going to go through all the air in the house.
Dan's got all his pre-piping done. We are actually sliding the Gator, as I love to call it, into place. It's about 40 pounds, so Dan has a bit of a wrestle here. He's got some nice tin studs up there that he can slide it into. Again, got to be strong enough to hold 40 pounds. Okay, what Dan's doing now is, this is the cold air return side. So he's robbed from the cold air return side. He's brought a 4-inch over. That's 4-inch, right, Dan?
Yes, sir.
4-inch over. So that inlet is in the top of the unit. So that's why it's right up in the top of the unit. So we know we're getting flow going back away out of the unit. Again, you want these things screwed in. Tape is a good seal, but it's not a secure. You want them screwed in, so any vibrations, and this guy's gonna vibrate, air conditioners and furnaces, a little vibration, the best of the best can vibrate. Over time, that's why you want them screwed in so nothing pops apart. A lot of people think tape is overkill. It is not. You wouldn't believe how many times how much air loss you get from a leaky joint. You want these sealed up as best as you can to get the best airflow going through it, to zap everything you can and not have any air leak in the basement. So we're just turning it on to the power from the furnace, so whenever the fan goes on, it comes on, whether it's cool air in the summer or warm air in the winter. Whenever air movement comes on, it will light the bulb, which will make it last longer. For those shoulder seasons when you don't need cool and you don't need heat, it's saving the life of the bulb.
So the furnace is back on, the fan's running. I'm just making sure that I've got the proper power going up in here, so I know that it in fact will run as it should.
Okay, as you can see, Dan's fishing the line through. He's got the new receptacle ready for him, nice, tight, up and out of the way. It just takes 110 power. In this case, Dan's pulled it off the power with the electronic air filters. It can be anywhere. This can be beside the panel, beside the plug. It could be an extension cord, but it just needs 110. It doesn't need 240 or nothing crazy, just 110 of a constant power source though, not something that can be switched on and off. Big time, the gentle time. Gentle Dan, gentle Dan. There you go, there's the bulb. Now again, not great to touch the bulb, but you can touch the end of the bulb, okay? But again, the oil off your fingers will cause it problems. It should slide nice and easy. Look at that. That's gentle Dan. Very, very gentle. We're gonna slide that in, making sure it's in there nice and tight. Now we're gonna plug it in, and we will see a bit of a glow coming out of the end. And this is the glow from the UV light. So right now, the light is on, the tube is on, air is flowing through it, coming from the hot air side. Coming from the hot air side, when the furnace is on, whether the fan motor, furnace, or AC, the fan has to be on. Coming up, going through it. The air going into this takes 5 meters through all the baffles to make sure we zap everything. The Gator's gonna chew in it all, and then go back out into the cold air return. And that's just gonna cycle back into the furnace. This is just one portion of the air circulating through your house, but it's all gonna make it through here within 8 to 10 hours. The whole house will be pure, clean, 8 to 10 hours. That's all it takes. Forest fires, influenza, coronavirus, any airborne pathogen will be zapped by this. You know what also gets this? Smoke from the BC forest fires.
Sure does. When
we
BC
hear a lot
lights
of that,
on
don't
fire.
we?
Yeah.
We hear a lot of that. And filters won't fix that, will they?
No, and your air conditioning won't either. You still want to purify that air.
Exactly. Cooking odors. Wife's got a garlic fetish on that night, fish fetish on that night.
Fish.
You know it's going to be cleaned out. Cooking odors. Huge, huge, huge with people, cooking odors. This will take it all out. We're all done. That wasn't too painful at all.
Could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse. Now, how did you get back here? How did these customers all of a sudden talk to you about
I was
this?
here about 5 years ago. We did this full system for them. As you can see, they got a couple air conditioners, furnaces, humidifiers. These people care about their air quality. Got a real good filter down there. That should be on. There we go. And now we want to make it even better, and they have a couple young daughters, so it was imperative to them and important that they wanted the best air quality that they could get, especially after the last 2 years. So I'm worried about kids going to preschool, they bring everything home, so it's going to kill your pathogens, the coronavirus, seasonal flu, influenza, whatever's floating through your air, this is going to get it. Allergies, and kids drag home a lot of allergies. And the BC forest fires. I hear that every day. This will do it. How long did it take you to put in? It's here for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So very easy install. Labor is very minimal. This is a great investment with a fantastic return. Well done. Thank you. You're happy? I think it looks good. Let's get out of here on to the next job. All right.